Are you vegan? Listen to this, what we call vegan tribe. Dr. Benjamin, what do you think?
Yeah. So as a scientist, I am, for lack of a better word, viciously opposed to veganism, in part because I'm a scientist and I'm a fan of the human species. For example, the further a human gets from eating animal-based foods, woman and man, the more infertile they become. If a woman stops eating animal fats, for example, she ovulates less frequently. As a man stops eating animal products, he begins to produce less sperm and his testosterone drops. So not only is it just inconducive, or it's not conducive to the human species propagating, beyond that, there are some things that a human can only get from animals. For example, essential fatty acids. There are 3 different types of omega-3 fats. One of them can come from plants, but it's one that humans don't get much use from. The other 2 come from animals, and thus we need to focus on those fats that come from the animals. Also, vitamin B12. There's no plant on the planet that has vitamin B12. You can only get it from animal sources or supplements, of course. But if you don't get B12, you get a type of anemia that can kill you. So, long story short, the further a person gets from eating animals, the more nutrient deficient they become. So, veganism, to maybe sum it all up, is a privilege of the elite. A person must be educated enough to know what they're deficient in, because they will be deficient in some things. And that's fine if they have the second thing, which is then they have to be able to afford high quality supplements to make up for it. Well, not everybody knows what they're going to be deficient in. Not everyone can afford the supplements. Thus, I believe to acknowledge the reality of the human species, which is that we are carnivorous, and thus we should eat animal products and not be embarrassed or ashamed of it.
Moderation, my friend, and not,
So when it comes to eating animal products, I very much appreciate some of the moral conflict, although it's not as simple as most people think. Even large-scale farming, if you have a vegan who's getting most of their protein from soybeans, when you go in as a farmer and force 10 acres of land to start growing soybeans, you kill thousands of animals in the process. So there's a bit of a naivete to some of the vegan view, which is that you're somehow not making animals suffer as much. You are. You just can't see them. And so it's easy to ignore them. I appreciate there's a lot of dynamics at play. And I tried to talk about it with some level of respect, because I know there's a lot of beliefs and moral systems that come into this. As a scientist, I don't have to worry as much about that. I just say, what does a human need? And a human needs animal foods, animal-sourced foods, in order to get all of the nutrition we need.
Thank you, Dr. Benjamin.